Cisco Endpoint AMP, Orbital, Talos, Maze, ransomware. All right, lots of news around Maze out there, right? And, the problem with Maze, like any other ransomware, it encrypts the drive, right? And makes the asset unusable in regards to getting your own data until you pay the ransomware, right? And recover the data. But what it does prior to encryption is that it tries to steal data, right? So it tries to get the data that it thinks that is valuable and then sends it outbound and uses it as leverage to get you to pay ransomware. And if you don't pay, then they're going to release it on the dark web. So whether it's an organization or an individual, you're certainly at risk here. There's lots of ways of detecting. Obviously, if you get the screen that says you've been compromised, right, pay the ransomware, that's obviously an indication. But there's also things that you can look for, like I think I've read in certain variants, volume shadow copy deletion. You can look for certain files on the machine. So Osquery with Orbital, Talos has went out and created some of these ransomware elements that you can look for. So if you come into, for example, Maze, it looks for a file path. Some of the things that I thought to look for, and again, I haven't done any analysis really outside of reading some blogs, right, around Maze, but some of the things like mutants, right? It creates a mutant so it doesn't reinfect the endpoint, right? The problem is the mutant itself changes every single time. So again, it gets very difficult to be able to look for something that's a little more static. So we'll copy this over and we'll clean it up a little bit. And we'll give it a try, right? I'm not compromised by any means, but I will put that file in that path to see the outcome as if you were compromised. So it's looking in C users and it's looking for that decrypt-files.txt. And you can see it comes up clean here. Now you can quickly do a quick scan, like a scheduled scan across the entire, all your targets in your organization to see if that file exists, right? And again, you can add additional elements depending on the variant that you're interested in. So again, lots of blogs out there, and look, a quick scan, and very quickly I'm able to see that. I can also, in this case probably doesn't matter, but here again, this is the nice thing about the architecture around Cisco security, is that I could actually come in here and do additional analysis. If it was a file that I was concerned about too, I could add it to a block list right from here and systemically push that out to, not only all my endpoints, but potentially my firewall, as well as, my email security and other web content type components that all can move the threat farthest away from the asset that I'm protecting. So pretty cool stuff from Talos.